right, welcome back to another interview on the Just Learn Crypto Show. I'm here with my co-host Aidan Hughes. Today we have the honor of having Jona Wilmsmann on, who's the creator of Atomichub. So happy to have you on, Jona. Thanks for taking some time out of your evening to be with us.
Yeah, hi Shawn. I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah, man, it was great to chat with you again, man. We actually did an interview with you months ago, and the file ended up getting corrupted, and we weren't able to put it out. So I'm really grateful that you took some time to reschedule us, because I know a lot of people in our bro-munity have some cool questions for you and really want to get to know the guy behind this platform that we're all clinically addicted to. So without further ado, my first question, man, is just when did you get into crypto? What was like your first introduction into the crypto community?
That's actually, I was wondering that recently too. I think 2014 or so.
Okay.
14, 15. I'm not sure. I got into it because I was trading CSGO skins, which is like CSGO is this game and skins are just weapon skins so that the weapons look different. And it's very similar to NFTs, just not as cool.
Yeah.
But I was trading with those, and that's when I first got introduced to Bitcoin, just as like a means of payment. And like I didn't invest in it, but I just traded with it.
Okay.
And then that's how I sort of got into the space.
And when did you get, like, did you ever get really, really into investing and trading in crypto, or was it always just kind of something you were aware of and you thought it was cool technology?
No, I have made like two investments, personal investments. One was buying Ethereum at $11 and selling it at $9. That was great.
I almost clapped for you.
Nice.
Yeah, it was almost, first part was cool, right?
Yeah.
No, but that was the first thing. And then actually when Wax had their initial like token sale, I think they didn't call it an ICO, but something different. But when they first sold their tokens, I bought some there, and that was pretty successful actually.
What was do you remember what their price point was when they were doing their initial
yeah, it was, I think it was originally like planned at $1, but then they like just tenfolded the amount of wax you would get, so essentially it's 10 cents.
Okay.
And then I think there was like a gamer pre-sale for all the people that used OP skins before, so like the CSGO trading website. And I think it was slightly lower, but like 10 cents around there. I think that was the original price. And then like on launch day, it went up to $5 or so.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
That was cool. That was 2017, right? That they did.
Yeah, that was 2017.
And you probably know better than me. I've done a bit of digging into Wax, but did it switch over to a new ownership? Like, or is it still the same team that originally started?
No, it's the same team. So
okay,
like the team that started this is the team behind OP Skins. And so OP Skins was this CSGO trading website, or like they had some other stuff, but CSGO was what they're really famous for.
Okay.
And that's also why we noticed it. That's like why, and when I say we, it's Fabian and I, because Fabian also invested back then, and we were following our P-skins, and then we were also kind of into the crypto space, but just following it. And then it sort of came together when our P-skins announced they were doing Wax and they were selling tokens.
Like, how do you feel? Do you feel the Wax is where it should be price-wise right now? Do you feel it's underperforming this year?
That's honestly hard to say. Like, one, I mean, I don't really invest in it. I just, as a company, obviously have a ton of Wax just lying around because it's just like business we're in. We're not really viewing it as investment. Like, it does feel like it's sort of overlooked just for like having tens of thousands of users every single day using it, and there's no movement in the token price. It's a bit unfortunate, I'd say. But at the end of the day, it's really hard to say. For compared to other tokens, it's probably underperforming. Like in general, I think it's a very philosophical question.
Statistically, I mean, it's I don't know if today it is, but it's been many days the #1 used blockchain in the entire ecosystem, 10 times higher than Ethereum some days. And you know, we're at over 4 million accounts now that are made on Wax. I mean, who knows how many of those are bots, but
how many of those are TC?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, one thing I noticed is that it took longer for Wax to dip when
Yeah.
the rest of the market was dipping. Like Wax kind of stayed at around 15, 14 cents. And then it wasn't until last week that it really was like, all right, now we're gonna dip down a little bit. But
Yeah.
the fortunes are created in dips, you know what I mean? Like those are the opportunities that investors look for. So it's a good time to get into Wax.
So let me just backtrack a little bit. So Wax was originally created as kind of a better way to trade in-game skins in Counter-Strike. Is that kind of the origin story?
Yeah, and actually not just Counter-Strike. The original white paper is nothing like what they're doing today. But I think it's a good progression. The original white paper, and I actually read it, it's like pretty long, and the idea was to have this blockchain where they could essentially bring together buyers and sellers of in-game items, where on like with CSGO, it's pretty easy because Steam has a trading feature. So it's fairly straightforward. You just trade. Then there's other games, like especially like these MMO games where like trading isn't really possible in an automated way, but instead you have to meet in game and then like transfer the gold or whatever there. And their idea, like the original Rex idea, was sort of to provide a system where you had guilds that would monitor these trades and then like act as middlemen for buyers and sellers.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I thought it made a lot of sense actually. Like in the end, that's not really what Wax is doing. Now Wax is really focusing on the NFT thing, which I think makes a lot of sense because NFTs are essentially game items, just better.
I see it kind of going full circle over the next 1 to 2 years here, where in-game items are going to be NFTs.
Yeah.
Where their utility is just the use within the game. I know Epic right now they're creating a whole metaverse outside of Fortnite and putting billions of dollars into it. And they're basically setting themselves up to get into NFTs, but they're going to be damn ready before they do it. And once stuff like that starts happening, it's going to be a game changer.
Literally.
Yeah, that's also.
Yeah, pun intended.
Yeah, no, but that's what I mean. Like it makes sense because the original Wax idea was essentially to give a framework to make the trading happen in existing games. Whereas now with NFTs, if you actually integrate them into games directly, it's so much more powerful, and I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
Have you been playing any of the blockchain games on Wax, Hodl God or Uplift or?
And not really, no. Just because I don't really have the time. It's unfortunate. I feel like this is very similar to like I'm following the game development scene, even though I'm not a game developer, but just because I like it. And it's like game developers, especially like indie developers, they always create the game of their dreams and then never actually get to enjoy it because they're just busy building it. And I feel it's a bit like this, but at the same time, the building part also is very fun, like for me. So I'm fine with working and building the ecosystem and letting all the others enjoy it.
Well, I mean, you built one of probably the top used DApp on Wax right now. So I mean, congratulations for that. That's bragging rights right there, man. I have a kind of a different question for you. I was curious, do you have a hero in cryptocurrency? Is there someone in the blockchain space that you really admire and look up to?
Not really, no. Like because I'm not really into the crypto space, which sounds odd because like obviously we're very much in the crypto space, but just me personally, I actually don't follow all the developments just because I'm very much focused on what I do. So
fair enough.
I don't think there's any.
What if I reframe the question to in the Wax community or in the NFT community?
Even there, probably not. I mean,
in
not hero. There are a lot of people like in the Wax guilds, like the block producers on Wax. I know for a fact that a lot of these guys are very, very smart. So like that's for sure. A lot of them are very smart guys that are building their own stuff, and I just wouldn't call them like heroes or anything, but I just see it as like there are very smart guys in the space, and I'm lucky to be like in this space together with them.
Awesome.
And it's like very much community, I feel like, because like whenever someone has a problem, there's like 5 smart people jumping to help.
The community aspect and like how community driven these projects are, these collections are, it's it's a beautiful thing, man. Like the amount of time people are taking out of their days to like help people and onboard them. And what do you think one of the friction points for someone getting into Atomichub? Like, do you see anything that you guys want to improve on the Atomichub side to make it easier to bring new people in? I mean, you guys have an amazing onboarding process already. It's very easy to make a Wax wallet. Your user interface is very easy to use. We've actually made 2 tutorials, one on how to make a Wax wallet, and we actually just released a couple days ago how to use the Atomichub marketplace. So, but what do you see? Like, are you getting feedback from anyone in that area?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, there is the friction. And I think, as you say, I think our process is, especially like compared to other crypto projects, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Like one with the Wax Cloud wallets, which obviously makes onboarding great. And then we probably do a decent job at just designing Atomichub. But then there's like, I think one friction point is definitely just getting Wax tokens, where like for Europeans or like most of the world, it's somewhat easy to just pay with credit card, but even that isn't great. Mm-hmm. And then for Americans, it becomes really difficult if they're in a few of those unsupported states. Then it's like, then they need to go through these exchanges. And for someone who's familiar with crypto, that might be okay. For someone who's completely new, that's like a huge task. And then on our end, I was actually talking to Anders, one of the guys in the Wax ecosystem earlier today, and we were just talking about how we are now in the process of hiring a UX UI designer just to help us with getting the user experience done well, because right now I think it's decent, but there's a lot of room for improvement. Like the NFT creator can use a lot of improvement on Atomichub, but the NFT creator, on the other hand, is also quite specific. Not all users will need to use that. So I think getting Wax, getting Wax easier.
No.
And then just like general improvements. I think there might be a case for just having like a small tutorial, like when someone first opens the site and then we ask them, do you want a tutorial? I think that might make sense, but that's probably quite far ahead into the future before we could get to something like this.
How many people are using Atomichub right now?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have Atomichub accounts, so it's like just Wax accounts, right? So we can't track that. But what we can track, obviously, is just like Google Analytics data for those who opt into the cookie policy, and then we're at usually like in the range of 50 to 100,000 unique users per day, which is like in the overall space, it's not super big. In the crypto space, that's pretty good. We're feeling pretty good about that.
That's awesome. Congratulations, bro.
What have been some of the challenges as you guys grow and see more and more daily active users, drops that are selling out faster? What are some of the growing pains that you guys are feeling?
Yeah, so the most obvious growing pain is just the technology, which needs to be able to keep up with all of this. Where I think now we're at a good point, but I know like, especially at the beginning of the year when it really started to take off, Fabian, my co-founder, he was just busy nonstop working on our tech and like putting out fires. Then we had a literal fire at one of our data centers, which wasn't great. Like not our personal data centers or nothing that's owned by us, but where some of our key servers were hosted. So they were just gone. So that wasn't great.
Wow.
So beginning of the year, like there was a lot of just fixing the tech to be able to scale to the usage that we see now. And I think we've got that done pretty well. And then the next part is just scaling our team. And I think we probably were too late to get it done, get it started. Like we started looking for employees, I think early this year, but we didn't look well just because it's like the first time for us ever recruiting someone, hiring someone. So like our beginning it didn't really lead to anything. And now we're working with a recruiter. We have like 2 front-end developers already working now who like started last month. Awesome. One more starting a month from now. As I said, like we're looking to get an UX UI designer on the team. Actually, just yesterday, we signed a contract with a really great DevOps engineer to help us with like keeping the servers running and getting that scaled. And like what I'm getting to is, for the last few months, Fabian and I have just been working nonstop, and which which isn't bad. Like we like what we do. So I'm not complaining about that. But the problem is just we don't really have enough time in the day to get everything done. So especially like responding to DMs on Telegram sometimes just takes a week, and that's not good. And I fully understand that, like anyone DMing me, they want something from me, and then I want to help them, and then they just need to wait forever. Also the whitelisting process, I know there has been frustrations in that, and then together with us not responding, it feels like we're just not listening, but that's not true. We are listening. It's just like right now we have so many things to do that these things are sort of drowned out. And this is where I think it will get better as we get more people on the team.
Yeah.
And we probably, like, we should have started earlier getting the people ready, because right now they're
one of
coming on the
those
team, but
things.
we're actually training those. We're training them, so they're not just like, it's not just flipping a switch and then they're there, but we need to train them, and it all takes a while.
I know when I started my first business, I felt like, oh yeah, recruiting's easy. You're paying these people. You just bring them in and pay them, and they work easy. Like, and it's not that way. No, it's a whole separate skill set and a whole separate, thing that you have to put a lot of heart and soul into is building a team. So it's good that you guys have a recruiter to make that their pure focus is to start to build people around you. How
does someone new to Atomichub get whitelisted and get fully verified? What's the process?
But to be whitelisted, like there's the application form that where you can just apply to be whitelisted. And the things that our support guys are looking for are, one, of course, art needs to be original, and you will likely have to prove that. So if you have the source files, for example, your Adobe Illustrator files, your Photoshop files, if you can just share those so that we can see it's yours, that's great. The next thing is that we want to see, because of the scammers, we now require you to have like some social presence where we essentially see it's not a account that you created yesterday, but it's actually, it looks real. Like it has some followers on Twitter maybe, and
you have something to lose.
Yeah, exactly. You have something to lose, and it's not like just created yesterday and then you just disappear again. For game projects, it gets even more difficult. Like if you're promising a game, because of scams that have happened in this area, we will likely require you to have like a company standing behind the project that is publicly visible. Throwing all that information at our support guys, essentially just proving to them what you're doing is original, you know what you're doing, and you're not scamming anyone. You're like a real person. This is essentially what we're looking for whitelisting. And verification is then a whole new other topic. So like it's sort of a combination of the quality of your work, like it should be very high quality to be verified, and also just the reputation behind it. So like if you're a superstar and you have 2 million followers on Twitter, then it will be easier for you to be verified. If you're completely new to the space, then we will likely tell you, okay, what you're doing is cool, but you will need to continue for like a month or two, continue building a community, continue building like something that's tangible, so that we can see you've put a lot of effort into this collection. You don't want to lose it, essentially. So it's like quality and trust for verifications.
Okay. Awesome, thank you.
I know I saw the crypto moon girls scam. Didn't that end up bringing in like hundreds of thousands of dollars?
I'm not sure. I mean, it would probably look bad. Maybe I don't even know. It's like, it's not that I don't care. It's just like we do have the support guys now. I'm not aware of every scam. I would think that I would have been aware of something that big. Like there have been some pretty big ones, and it's like super frustrating. It's like on two sides frustrating. One, because like there's this scammer just taking money from users, and two, it makes the whole process for genuine artists so much harder to be whitelisted, because we have to essentially assume that they're scammers, which isn't fair to them at all, but it's like the only way we know how to filter them out.
We actually have a question from Josh Gunter. He's a pretty awesome guy in our Just Learn Crypto Bro community. So this question to you, Jona, is, are you guys considering any kind of reward system for either the buyer or the sellers?
Yeah, so actually, like this is something I wanted to do since forever, but it's a really complex system, and we always had like sort of more important things to do. What I would love to see is some sort of leveling system on Atomichub, which could also be sort of reputation system, where then like just buying and selling could give you a reputation, but also different tasks like could be sort of like gamified aspect where like creating your collection, trying out the NFT creator could give you experience to level up, where this could lead to like actual rewards, whether it be tokens or NFTs, but it could also be used as a sort of reputation system. The difficult thing about this is like making sure that it can't be just like botted, because then it's sort of useless. But there's something like I think would add a lot of value. Like even just seeing the reputation would also help you. Like if someone has a lot of reputation, then they're maybe less likely to be a scammer. So I think that can help.
Yeah, for sure. Another question from the Bromunity, actually from Miss Teen Crypto, is: are you guys considering an easier way for people to pre-mint their NFTs?
Yeah, and we are. So essentially like end of, or not even end of last year, I think like August or something last year, we first built the Atomic Drops contract, which like obviously allows people to essentially do primary sales for the NFTs. And then we also created the Atomic Packs contract, which allows people to set up packs. We haven't built an interface for actually setting those up for neither of those, and Nifty Blocks has. So they've essentially taken our contracts and built an interface to set them up.
Okay.
And now that so much time has passed, we're actually thinking like when we now get to that, when we now build it ourselves, we want to like put it all into a single contract, rewrite it so that we have complete freedom to redo it. And then also support Preemits in that, where like Preemits can even be shared across drops and packs. We want to integrate those into our API properly so that it really works. And whereas right now it's not an API, it's just querying data from the blockchain, which is okay. But with an API, it's just more powerful. For example, for like a purchase history, that's only possible with the API. So we want to combine that, combine drops and packs, add a Preemit functionality to that, build an API for it, and then do all of that together, like and push that out on Atomichub properly. Will still take a few months, that's for sure, but that's like the vision.
Awesome, man. And the last question from the Bromunity, from someone who just has their wax address as their display name on Telegram. So this is from period 5 lb4.wham. Is there ever going to be a way to hide or delete messed up templates?
Yeah, this is a question we get a lot. I get it. It's like, it's sort of painful when you've made a mistake and then it just sits there forever and everyone can see it and then like shame you. And I fully get that. Like the reason why it's not super easy to allow erasing them, it is very technical. It has to do with like the integer that we're using to store template IDs only being 32-bit integer, and it could overflow, and like that probably doesn't mean a lot to most people watching. It's technical because initially when we designed it, we didn't plan on them being erasable, and now it's kind of hard to just make them erasable.
Yeah,
it might be, we might be able to still do it. It's sort of an ongoing discussion. And then, but next to actually changing the atomic assets contract, there would also be the option to maybe hide them, to just hide them from Atomichub so that they still exist. But as long as nobody can see, then maybe the shame is a bit less.
Fair enough. So that's a hard maybe.
that's a hard maybe, yeah. Yeah, but like we get it. I fully understand why that's frustrating to have these error templates. And it's like always stressful for me when I set something up, like because we work with a lot of these projects where we help them set up their packs and stuff. Like when I hit that button to actually create the templates, I'm just praying that I didn't make any mistakes and I noticed everything beforehand, so that when I then actually deploy it on the mainnet, it all looks good. Yeah. Because like if it wasn't good, and then I had to do it over again, like, and then I would have to go to the projects and just like tell them, hey guys, I might have fucked up. I might have just created a bunch of error templates. So I think so far I've been able to avoid it, but only because I'm super anxious about that.
Maybe even an option where when you create a template, it shows how it's going to appear to the public before you hit confirm, or you have like a 30-minute window to reverse what you just did.
Yeah, I mean that certainly is correct. Like just making the NFT creator better to like let people catch their errors there. Like that 100% is something that we will do with the NFT creator rework. It's just like once they're actually created, then it becomes a technical problem. But before they're created, like during the creation process, that's a UI UX problem, and that's something that we can improve and will improve.
Your anniversary is coming up of Atomichub, is it not?
It's actually today.
No way.
No way.
Seriously? Wow,
Yeah,
that's so cool that we got an interview with you. So it's 1 year anniversary of Atomichub.
Yeah. Like
Congratulations, bro. That's a huge milestone, man. How many NFTs have been minted on Atomichub as of right now, or as of today?
As of right now, I think 36.2 million. So it's pretty insane how much has happened in a year.
That is unreal, man. Well, congratulations, bro. Honestly, like, love the platform. I use it daily. I'm really excited to see like any improvements you guys make and roll out over the coming months. I guess my last question for you is kind of a personal one for me and Aidan. So we recently got whitelisted with our Just Learn Pod collection. So thank you for that, by the way. What do we need to do now to get fully verified? What would be the process for us now?
That once again is in this philosophical question because we don't have an exact process.
Fair enough.
Do you accept
Do you accept bribes?
We actually don't. And I think
I'm kidding.
We've had people offer that, like genuinely offer that. But,
I believe it.
Yeah.
No, but we don't. Like I think that just destroys the entire system if there's no integrity there. So no, we don't. But I mean, like you seem like two pretty legit guys. Just like obviously
we fake it well.
In the space. Yeah, you've been in the space.
Yeah.
No, well, I would have to look at it, but there's no formal process. It's just it's sort of I don't want to say
fully verified collections, bro. They vouch for us. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't want to say that the process is to DM us because then we get a bunch of DMs and I really don't want that. At the same time, it sort of is to DM us because that's like how most people get verified. They just ask us and then. But in general, like you should be. I think most people understand what could be verified, what can't be.
Yeah.
Like it should be something big. It should be something that people actually care about. It should be high quality. It should be.
I have a question as well. So
by a well-known team.
If you have someone like R2 Collectibles, for example, and they've been verified on one or many of their collections, if they create a new collection, is it just an instant verification?
Well, for R2 in particular, for R2 it is. So, like in general, we don't really encourage people to have multiple collections, like because a lot of the time what we've seen is that they just create two collections for like things that could easily be the same one. Like they create one collection for the items and one collection for the promotional items, and it's just like put it in a single collection makes more sense.
Yeah.
For R2, for example, they obviously create entirely different collections. It makes a lot of sense to have them in different collections. And with R2 specifically, like we've been working with them, they're working with EOS Amsterdam, and they're like a real team.
We're also working with us.
so it's a lot easier for them, obviously, because we know that there's like a lot of reputation standing behind it. They're not just going to create some random bullshit collection.
It's not just a quick cash grab. You know, they're putting out new collections every month that are new artists, completely unique, right? So
yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, man. Well, listen, dude, I know it's getting late for you over there. I really appreciate you taking time, especially on the 1 year anniversary of your baby. So before we wrap things up, I just want to give a quick shout out to our supporters and sponsors. So thank you so much to carcitycanada.ca for making used cars available to everyone in Ontario for cryptocurrency. So go check him out in Ottawa. Ubiquity.io as well. Thank you so much for supporting the show. And R2 Collectibles, thank you for being a partner with us and providing us with amazing NFTs to give away to our Bromunity every Saturday on our Zoom call. If anyone watching this hasn't been on the Saturday sesh, join the Telegram, t.me /Just Learn Crypto. It's a Zoom call we do every Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern with guests, giveaways. Jona, we'd love to have you on the Saturday session one day if the timing works out. I know you'd probably have to, actually 4 p.m. that would be like, it'd be like 10 p.m., 11 p.m.
Yeah, that's 10
like
p.m. That's 10 p.m.
Well, we'll have to buy you like a latte, keep you awake or something, get you on the show one day. But thank you so much for coming on, man. Honestly, really appreciate it. And for anyone watching this video, if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and click that button and we'll see you on the next episode.